Okay, so today we're going to be using the standard measurement system to convert between different units. First, we need to define what a conversion is. And a conversion is just a change in the form of a measurement in different units without a change in the size or amount. For example, if you have $1 and I ask you, how many ways can you make $1? You can say, well, you can have 10 dimes, you can have 100 pennies. We're not changing how much the dollar is worth, we're just changing the type of currency that we would use to have that dollar. So, for conversions and the standard measurement system, we are going to be using these three types. We have length, we have capacity, and we have weight. Length is just how long something is. Capacity is how much this container would hold, and then weight is how heavy something is. I would pause the video here if I were you and then write these down because I'm going to be referring to this little card when we need the measurements to create the conversions. I've also given you the abbreviations to all of our measurements, so make sure that you know how to abbreviate correctly, okay? All right, so how are we going to be setting up these conversions? They're going to be pretty basic. They are two fractions, and what I do is I just draw a bar and then I just split it in half. We are multiplying these two fractions together. Then the first fraction is always what information you are given in the problem. So whatever measurement they give you first, this is going to be your starting number. That number is always going to be over 1. Then the second fraction or third fraction, depending on how many conversions you need, we always want our same unit to be diagonal from each other because we're trying to get rid of it. And then our new unit is always going to be on top of that fraction because that's what we want, okay? So let's get started. We want to convert 53 pints into cups, okay? So let's take a look. First, I know that I need my first fraction, okay? And I'm going to draw this out like this. And we want to convert 53 pints into cups. That means that this is what we start off with. So that's going to be 53, and I'm going to abbreviate here, okay, pints over 1. And remember, we want these two to be the same unit. So if pints is here on the top of the first fraction, pints has to be on the bottom of the second fraction, okay? And we want to turn these pints into cups, okay? So I want cups to be on the top, and I'm going to use the abbreviation C for cups, okay? Now I look for the relationship between cups and pints in my measurement list here. So I'm going to go back to my card and I'm going to look for a relationship between pints and cups. So I see that here 1 pint is equal to 2 cups, okay? So I'm going to write that down here, okay? So 1 pint equals 2 cups, okay? And I'm going to use this information and put it in here in the correct spots. You have to be careful. If you put the numbers in the wrong spots, then you're going to end up getting the wrong answer. So we're going to put the number 1 for pint and the number 2 for cup. Okay? Now from here, all you have to do is make sure to eliminate the units you don't need anymore. In this case, we don't need pints anymore. They are eliminated. And we are just going to multiply straight through. So 53 times 2, you're going to get, hopefully, 106. And on the bottom, 1 times 1 is going to be 1. When I divide this, then I'm just going to get 106. And of course, you need to give it the right unit, the right label. So we were trying to turn these 53 pints into cups. That means that 53 pints is the same as having 106 cups. Okay? So that's all there's to it. We're going to do a few more. The next one is convert 44 quarts into gallons. Same idea. We're going to build our two fractions. Okay? Remember, we're multiplying. And we're going to write down what we're starting off with. In this case, we have 44 quarts. Please use your abbreviation. Okay? Over 1. And again, quarts is what we want to get rid of. So quarts has to be at the diagonal. So we're going to write the quart on the bottom. And we want to turn those quarts into gallons. So we're going to take GAL and put it on the top. Okay. Now again, we're going to go back to this card and look for a relationship between gallons and quarts, or quarts and gallons. So I know it's not length, I know it's not weight, I think I might find it in capacity. So I have gallons and quarts here, so I know that 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. And now I'm going to put those numbers in the right spots. Okay, so my 1 goes for gallon, so I'm going to put a 1 on the top. And the 4 goes for quarts, so I'm going to put the 4 on the bottom. Okay. Now we're going to eliminate the unit that we were trying to get rid of. So quarts is gone now. And then we're going to again multiply straight through. Okay. So 44 times 1 is 44. 1 times 4 is 4. And now when we divide, 44 divided by 4 is 11. Now again, we're trying to convert 44 quarts into gallons. So 44 quarts is the same as 11 gallons. Okay. Last one. We're going to convert 4 yards into inches. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to build our chart here. Okay. And then we're going to write down what we're starting off with. In this case, it's 4 yards over 1. Okay. And now I want yards to be on the bottom of the second one. However, when I go to my chart, I don't see a relationship between yards and inches. You see that? Okay. I only have a relationship between yards and feet. So I have to write here the relationship between yards and feet, because I know that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. However, I also have a relationship between feet and inches. And inches is what we really want, you see? So that means I have to extend this bar to add another conversion, okay? And that means we don't want the feet, so feet has to go on the bottom of the third fraction, and now we want to turn these feet into inches. So that means inches will be here on top. Okay. Now I can find that relationship here in my chart. 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So I'm going to write that down. 1 foot, 12 inches. Okay, now we have to make sure we write these numbers in the right spots. So 1 yard, 3 feet. We go to the fraction that has yards and feet. The 1 is going to go on the bottom. The feet is going to go on the top. So the 3 goes on the top. Now I go to the second fraction. The foot goes on the bottom. So 1 goes on the bottom. And the 12 goes on the top. Okay. So from here, one more time, you're going to have to eliminate the units we don't want anymore. When they're diagonal, we can eliminate them. So yards we don't want. Feet we don't want, and we do want those inches. So now all you have to do is multiply now all of the numbers on the top together, get an answer. So we got 4 times 3, which is 12, times 12 is equal to 144. And then 1 times 1 is 1, times 1 is 1. And when we divide here, 144 divided by 1 is equal to 144. So 4 yards is the same as having 144 inches. I hope they gave you a basic understanding on how to create a conversion and convert between standard measurement system.